Hello class, I'm your host. My name is Brandon Santana, and today we're going to be talking about the Brown versus Board, the GI Bill, the National Defense Education Act, and the National School Lunch Act. So first we're going to jump into the Board of Education. So back in the day, there were all black schools and all white schools. And however, on May 17th, 1954, a man named Oliver Brown sued the Board of Education for his daughter, Linda Brown, was denied access to an all-white school. This challenged the 14th Amendment, allowing equal rights under the law. And so let's see what that may have looked like.
Wow, can't wait for school.
We don't accept African Americans after school.
Get out. Dad, they kicked me out of school.
For what?
My skin color.
Oh, I'm gonna give a piece of my mind. I'm suing you for not letting my daughter into school. Yeah, I want her in that school and every other African American as well, so there's equality in America for all black students.
You win.
And so, as you can see, this ultimately led African Americans and all whites being able to be in one school, which was unheard of before 1950. So now, on June 22nd, 1944, the GI Bill was passed. And what this allowed is veterans that were coming back from the war were able to get funding to get higher education and to get homes, etc. However, a problem arose to where black veterans were facing discrimination locally because some places still had Jim Crow laws. And that, of course, violated the 14th Amendment. Let's take a look at what that may have looked like.
Man, I'm glad that war's over with.
Man, what do we do now? We don't have jobs. And we don't have the money to go to college.
Oh, dude, you heard of the new GI Bill?
No, what's that?
So basically, like, we go to college for free because we're veterans now. So now we get to go to college for free. Maybe we should go to the same college. What about,
You should go to Westminster.
Oh, dude, I'm right down the road from there.
Yeah, let's go.
Oh, yeah, let's go. Alright. Hey, how you doing?
How's it going?
Good. I want to go to Westminster College, and I'm a veteran. Can I go in?
Of course.
Oh, welcome.
Hey, how are you?
Get out.
So, even though there was the GI Bill, which as all the veterans were coming home, they needed a job, they needed a place to stay, and some of them needed education. And as you saw in that situation, those that were African American, even though they had the GI Bill, still faced forms of systemic racism. And so, what this ultimately led to were the Civil Rights Movement, as well as the Fair Housing Act later on that helped them out. However, there was no true actual solution during those times, so they faced issues. Hello everyone, and we're back. So now we're past World War II, where you find out that this is close to the Cold War, and during that, Russia launches the Sputnik 1, which shows Americans that Russia might be ahead on their technology. Therefore, President Eisenhower passes the National Defense Education Act, which allowed for further studies in science, technology, and in math, which granted them the ability to get more scientists and engineers to try to keep up with advancements in their education.
Oh man, I'm glad this war's finally over.
Yeah, it was brutal, but we got them Japanese. Oh my gosh, Russia just freaking launched a rocket. Oh, we don't have the technology to even do that.
It's a satellite.
Oh, dude, I know what we have to do. We're gonna have to upgrade all our education with science and math. On top of that, we need to upgrade our technology as well.
That sounds
Let's
good
go,
to
we
me.
gotta go do that, come on.
And so, this caused Americans to want to compete with them. And so, thanks to the National Defense Education Act, this allowed them to expand their horizon for science, for mathematics, for engineering and their education, which also allowed for federal loan programs, which improved education and trained teachers to, of course, teach things in the category of STEM. And now it's June 4th, 1946, and President Truman passes the National Lunch School Act. And before this act, they didn't really serve food for the kids. However, through this act, they now serve, and it's federally funded food for the students throughout the day. That way, if they are eating nutritious meals, they will be able to get a better and a higher education.
Vinny and Brandon are doing so bad on their assignments and tests. What is going on with these kids?
Oh, we're so hungry.
Mira, me llama Brandon. Yo necesito comida. Yo tengo mucho hambre. Ayúdeme. Mira.
I gotta do something about this. These kids need food. If I get them food, that might help their grades. I'm gonna go talk about this.
Yes, what's going on?
These kids are hungry and starving in these schools. They need food. I need an app that can provide them school lunches so that they can learn better as well.
We shall get funding for that, and that will be called the National Lunch School Act.
Great, thank you. Man, this is awesome. Brandon and Vinny are doing so much better in school now. Just look at them. It's all because of that food.
Me llené de comida. Gracias.
And thanks to the National School Lunch Act, your children are able to eat during the school day and receive a well-balanced meal so that they're able to focus on school and get the good grades they need to move on in life. Those were the legislations during the war and the post-war era between 1940 and 1960. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Brandon Santana. If you don't mind, I got some windows I gotta clean.